have low vision, or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Around Our Area continues now on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Your reader for this hour is Sally Herzog. And we have something new today. Our West Seneca, Orchard Park, and East Aurora newspapers are now the Southtowns Bee. So we will be reading the Southtowns Bee. And we go to our first article. SASI, or SASI, opens first freestanding overnight respite home in Orchard Park. This is by Justice Sullivan. Local nonprofit, or Suburban Adult Services Incorporated, has opened a newly renovated freestanding overnight respite home on Abbott Road in Orchard Park to provide short-term care for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The facility serves children ages 5 to 17 and adults 18 and older on alternating weeks and is currently open Thursday through Sunday. The program is designed to offer families temporary relief while ensuring individuals receive supportive, professional care in a safe environment. This expansion allows us to reach more families across Western New York who are in need of reliable overnight support, the organization wrote on Facebook. The Orchard Park location is SASI's first freestanding overnight respite home and is part of the organization's broader effort to expand community-based support services for people with developmental disabilities across the region. The respite home is not limited to families already receiving services through SASI. Individuals working with a care coordinator may be eligible, and referrals are being accepted. Headquartered in Alma, SASI provides support and services to nearly 2,000 people with developmental and intellectual disabilities throughout Western New York. Learn more about SASI at www.sasinc.org. Care coordinators can submit referrals to Wendy Sherwood at wsherwood@sasinc.org. Families seeking additional information can call 716-805-1555, extension 224. Made in America lists Alma Building. This is by Justin Sullivan. The Made in America store in Alma has announced plans to sell the building that houses its flagship location in Alma, a move that will lead to a temporary closure while the business explores options to reopen at a future site. The family-owned business, located at 1000 West Maple Court off the Aurora Expressway, said in a Facebook post that the decision was made after careful consideration and does not signal the end of the brand. Owners said the Made in America store name, mission, and operations will continue, with plans to reopen in a new location when conditions allow. The decision comes months after the unexpected death of founder and owner Mark Andel last July at the age of 59. Since then, Andel's other Alma-based company, General Welding and Fabricating, has closed too. As part of the transition, the current store will enter a liquidation phase. The company said its online shop will be temporarily placed on hold and is expected to resume once a new physical location is established. Additional details regarding liquidation dates, sales, gift cards, and customer information will be released at a later time. The Made in America store has built its reputation around selling products manufactured in the United States, with a mission focused on supporting domestic jobs and American manufacturing. Founded in 2010 by Andal, the store is created to combat the loss of manufacturing jobs to foreign competition. Located in the former car dealership, it became the only store in the United States to exclusively sell 100% American-made products, growing from 50 items to over 15,000 while supporting local jobs. The store has also become a local tourist attraction, welcoming thousands of tour buses to its tenure in Alma. At one point, the store had several additional locations across western New York, including stores in both the Boulevard Mall and the Walton Galleria. Alma remains Made in America store's only store. In the statement, the company thanked its employees, customers, vendors, and partners for their support and said it remains committed to its founding values. Made in America store has always stood for community, quality, pride, and purpose, the statement said. Those values are not going away. The business online store is still open for business at www.madeinamericastore.com. West Seneca Military Banner Program kicks off its final year. The West Seneca Veteran Memorial Banner Committee is conducting its sixth and final Veteran Military Banner Program as a living tribute for our community. The program, Honor Through Display, will honor past and present members of the armed forces with banners displayed along Union Road between Center Road and Seneca Street. The banner program is non-political and nonpartisan. This effort is to serve as a living memorial to those servicemen and women from West Seneca who have served or are currently serving in our military branches, and to make area residents aware of their service to our nation. 50 banners will be available in 2026 at a cost of $135 each. Pricing includes the actual banner and the mounting hardware. If more than 50 requests are received, the Veteran Military Banner Program for 2026 will be a lottery-based system. Requests for banners will only be accepted by email, and a random lottery will determine eligible applicants. Any family wishing to purchase a Veteran Military Banner for 2026 should send an email between February 2nd and the 27th to wsvetsbanner@gmail.com. Applicant must state that the banner would like to be purchased. Email must contain the full name of the applicant, telephone number, and email address. All emails received will be assigned a number. Only one submission per family. Only families that did not have a banner in 2021 through 25 will be accepted. Requests received by email will be assigned a number, and a random draw will be made on March 2nd, and drawn requests will be notified by email that they may purchase a banner. If there are any banner slots remaining, families who displayed a banner in 2021 through 25 will be asked if they wish to display again in 2026. For complete information regarding the Military Banner Program, visit www.wsvets.org/vetbanners.html. West Seneca West students prep for something rotten. This is by Rachel Ross. Putting together a musical is no easy task, and that's before throwing tumultuous weather into the mix. With a mere 2-month rehearsal window, during which West Seneca West Senior High School was subject to a number of snow days and activity cancellations at the hands of poor weather, director and theater instructor Keith Ursing said that preparations for the school's upcoming musical, Something Rotten, haven't exactly been easy. However, despite this, the cast has persevered and is eager to take the stage for opening night on February 4th. Set in the 1590s, Something Rotten follows the story of two brothers who are desperate to make a name for themselves in a theater industry that is dominated by Shakespeare's revolutionary tales. However, when the local prophet gives them the idea to combine acting with singing and dancing, the brothers set out to create the world's first ever musical. Praised for its comedy and wit, the Tony Award-winning musical has been entertaining audiences across the globe, including on Broadway and London's West End, since its premiere in 2015. Ursing said that he was inspired to choose Something Rotten for this year's musical, as it played well to the strengths of the cast and crew. Every year, I think the challenge is you always want to find a show that works well for the students that you have, be it your instrumental students, your crew, your cast. You have to kind of get a gauge, Ursing said. You want to showcase their talents the best that you can. Auditions began in November, while rehearsals started in early December. Ursing said that he arranged for a member of the show's Broadway cast, Rob McClure, to announce to students that they would be adapting Something Rotten through a video message. It was really cool, Ursing said. The thing that McClure said in the video was the show was a fun factory, and I think the neat thing about the show is it is very different than Les Miserables that we did last year. Comedy should be lots of laughs. I think the students are handling the comedic timing really well and just trying to land the jokes. Ursing said that from the start, students in both the cast and crew have demonstrated impressive work ethic and commitment to bringing the best possible performance to their roles. I can't tell you how impressed I am, Ursing said. They've been coming in super prepared. I'm just really impressed by what the students bring to the table. Lead-wise, all of them are hustling their butts, and they do a lot of research themselves. And then the orchestra crits and the crew. It's really impressive to hear what they're doing. Beyond being able to showcase the talents of the cast and crew, Ursing is excited for the opportunity to introduce Something Rotten to new audiences. This show not many people know about, Ursing said. It's a Broadway production, but it's not like Les Mis or Little Mermaid or Mamma Mia. We get to introduce this show to a lot of our community, which we're really excited about. Something Rotten will be running from February 4th till the 7th, with a special Alumni Night event taking place before the final show to recognize past and current students involved with West Senior's Theater Department. Tickets for the show can be reserved by calling 716-677-3421 or by filling out an online form at https://tinyurl.com/WSWTX26. EMW baseball softball partner on Dugout Project. EMW or Alma Marilla Wales Baseball and Softball have partnered with the nonprofit The Butterfly Foundation on a community fundraising initiative aimed at improving facilities at the Creek Road fields. The goal of the campaign is to raise $30,000, which would be matched dollar for dollar by the Butterfly Foundation for a total project investment of $60,000. The Creek Road complex includes 10 fields, 3 of which currently do not have dugouts. Funds raised through the campaign will be used to construct permanent dugouts on those 3 fields, along with making necessary improvements to the remaining 7 dugouts. The fundraising period will run through March 1st. If fundraising goals are met, construction is scheduled to begin on March 25th, with an estimated completion date of April 15th, weather permitting. A field dedication ceremony, ceremonial first pitch, and opening day celebration are tentatively scheduled for May 9th, weather permitting. To recognize community support, a large donor recognition sign displaying all contribution levels will be permanently mounted at the Katie Durkin Field. Donation levels include single up to $250, a double $250 to $500, triple $500 to $999, home run $1,000 to $1,999, and Grand Slam $2,000 and above. As of press time, the project has raised more than $14,000. Those wishing to donate by personal check are asked to contact the EMW Baseball and Softball Treasurer at emwbaseballtr@gmail.com. Spectrum Health offers free Narcan training. Staff from Spectrum Health's Medication Assistant Treatment Team will once again share community resources and offer free training on the use of Narcan at the Town of West Seneca Community Center atrium on the second Friday of the next several months from noon until 3 p.m. Narcan can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. Knowing how to properly administer Narcan to somebody who may have accidentally overused a prescription pain medication, or who used a street drug that was laced with a powerful addictive or additive, can help save lives. The training takes only 2 minutes. Over the past 3 years, our team has distributed hundreds of Narcan kits from our monthly visits to the West Seneca Community Center, said Ann Boback, Director of Spectrum Health Medication Assistance Treatment Program. We will continue to be there to train individuals on how to use Narcan and to provide them with Narcan and test strips. This year, we're also focusing on answering questions and providing guidance on how and where to access treatment. We know that lives were saved in the community because of this partnership with the Town of West Seneca. The MAT team will be there on February 13th, March 13th, April 10th, May 8th, June 12th, July 10th, and August 14th. Spectrum Health also operates a full-service counseling center at 326 Orchard Park Road in West Seneca. Teen of the Week, sponsored by Erie One Bosies. The Teen of the Week is Emily Berzins, Salvatorian at West Seneca West Senior High School. Is this week's Teen of the Week. Emily has been described as a remarkable student, bright, motivated, and full of potential. Emily is an honor student who has completed multiple AP courses throughout the duration of her high school career. Due to her academic excellence, Emily was inducted into the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, the Science Honor Society, and even the Rho Kappa National Social Studies Honor Society, where she served as treasurer for her junior year. This past summer, she had the opportunity to participate in the Council and International Education Exchange High School Summer Abroad program. For 4 weeks, Emily stayed with a host family at Palma del Malarco, where she met people from different parts of Spain and other peers from the United States. She attended daily 3-hour-long classes focusing on the Spanish language, breaking down the structure, verb, tense, vocabulary, and grammar. Another aspect of the curriculum was community conversations, which prompted students to speak with the locals, strengthening their Spanish-speaking skills. Emily possesses a maturity and perspective far beyond her years, and I am confident she will continue to use her talents to make a positive impact on this world, said Carrie Lenahan, social studies teacher at West Seneca Senior High School. Emily has been playing viola for 8 years and started her freshman year. She began taking private lessons. Since then, she has been the principal violist in the school's ensemble and concert band. Last summer, she performed with the region's All-State Symphony Orchestra, where musicians from neighboring counties come together to perform at SUNY Fredonia. For the last 4 years, Emily has been the treasurer on the class board and an active member of the student council. She also joined Motto UN in her freshman year and is now serving as co-president. In her spare time, Emily has volunteered for the student government, working in the concession stand at fundraising events, volunteering as a library assistant, sorting and organizing books, and setting up children's activities twice a week. Additionally, over the last 3 years, Emily has been teaching weekly, hour-long viola lessons. Due to her accomplishments, Emily has received the Student of the Month Award for Health and Music, the Kiwanis Award for Foreign Language and Social Studies, and the RIT Humanities and Social Science Award. She also received the College Board National Recognition Award and the Global Navigator Scholarship. After she graduates, Emily plans to attend college, majoring in political science with a minor in history. Her goal is to work in government, where she can use her influence to help marginalized communities. Best Self opens 24/7 Crisis Center. Best Self Behavior Health has opened a first-of-its-kind intensive crisis stabilization center in Western New York, offering 24/7 support for people of all ages experiencing mental health and substance use crisis. The new facility, called Best Response, is located at 430 Niagara Street in Buffalo and will serve residents of Erie, Niagara, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. The center provides short-term, immediate care in a calm, supportive setting where individuals can stay for up to 23 hours and 59 minutes. Services include crisis counseling, medication support, and connection to follow-up care, delivered in a trauma-informed environment. Best Response reflects on commitment to meeting people with compassion in their most vulnerable moments, said Elizabeth Woke, CEO of Best Self Behavior Health. This center ensures individuals and families have access to timely, appropriate care when they need it most, without facing a crisis alone. The center was developed through collaboration with county mental health departments across the region, ECMC, Crisis Services of Western New York, Bryland Hospital, Value, Network, emergency responders, and law enforcement agencies. Best Response is designed to serve as a hospital diversion option, offering an alternative to emergency departments, where individuals in crisis often face long wait times and limited placement options. The center aims to reduce unnecessary psychiatric hospitalizations while providing faster access to appropriate care. Best Response is one of only a handful of intensive crisis socialization centers operating in New York. Funding was awarded to Best Self through a competitive state request for proposals process. State Office of Mental Health Commissioner Dr. Ann Sullivan said the center aligns with broader efforts to expand community-based crisis services. Intensive crisis stabilization centers provide a place where people experiencing a behavioral health crisis can access high-quality treatment so they can avoid unnecessary emergency room visits and hospitalization, Sullivan said. Best Self represents our ongoing efforts to expand these facilities across our state. The Patrick Lee Foundation also provided philanthropic support for the project. Deputy Erie County Executive Lisa Shimura said the center fills a critical need in the region. This new facility fills a critical gap in our mental and behavioral health system while helping ease pressure on inpatient care at local hospitals, Shimura said. Take care of yourself during American Heart Month. February is American Heart Month, a time for everyone to reflect on their cardiovascular health and the steps available to prevent heart disease. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nationally, heart disease claimed over 702,880 lives in 2022. For comparison, during the same year, cancer took 608,371 lives. Accidents and unintentional injuries took 227,039 lives, and COVID-19 took 186,552 lives. Cardiovascular issues can take many forms, whether it be of the four leading forms of heart disease, coronary heart disease, stroke, hypertension, or congestive heart failure. There are steps you can take to lower your risk according to the National Institute of Health. According to the Mayo Clinic, one of the most important things you can do to avoid heart disease is staying away from tobacco. Chemicals from tobacco will wreak havoc on your heart and blood vessels over time. Cigarette smoke can raise both your blood pressure and heart rate, a response to your heart working in overdrive to provide blood to the rest of your body. On a positive note, if you do quit smoking, your risk of heart disease can be cut in half after only 1 day. Another great way to reduce your risk of heart disease is by staying active. Studies from the Mayo Clinic indicate that 30 to 60 minutes of activity per day will greatly benefit your heart health. The clinic recommends 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise, such as brisk walking, per week, 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity, such as running, per week, and 2 or more anaerobic, such as weightlifting sessions per week. The third big key to heart health is a balanced diet. The Mayo Clinic recommends vegetables and fruits, beans or other legumes, lean meats and fish, low-fat or fat-free dairy foods, whole grains, and healthy fats such as olive oil and avocado. Other ways to help avoid heart disease are maintaining a healthy weight, getting quality sleep, and managing your stress levels. It's also never a bad idea to get a health screening. If you'd like to know the standing of your cardiovascular health, schedule yourself for a checkup through your general practitioner. Doctors can test your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, an overall risk for disease like type 2 diabetes, which increase your odds for heart disease. Remember that heart disease doesn't discriminate based on gender. It currently represents the leading cause of death for both men and women in the United States. For more information, visit the DOH online at erie.gov/PHEP. And before we move to our next paper, we'd like to tell you you're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. And we move to the Hamburg Sun, and this is the Friday, January 30th, 2026 edition. We go to our first article. Hamburg BOE approves final set of contracts for Phase 4 work. This is by Chris Graham. The Hamburg Board of Education has awarded the last set of contracts for Phase 4 work on the Discover 2001 capital project. The latest set of contracts include a public address system, contract to Romeo Specialized Systems Incorporated for $93,309.14, a commissioning project service contract to C.J. Brown, P.C., for $9,762, a construction materials testing and special inspection service contract to Encoris Group for $58,592.50, an environmental project monitoring service contract to Stoll Environmental LLC for $102,500. These contracts are added to 8 additional contracts awarded earlier by the board in November and December. They include site work to Matt Colo Excavating LLC for $196,000, general construction to Concept Construction Corporation for $5,449,000, electric construction to Fry Electric Construction Corporation Incorporated for $1,898,000. Roofing construction to Grove Roofing Services Incorporated for $1,608,820. Demo and abatement construction to Metro Contracting and Environmental Incorporated for $1,558,900. Plumbing to John W. Danforth Company for $1,492,200. Mechanical to John W. Danforth Company for $2,334,292. And playground construction to Landscape Structures Incorporated for $557,184.77. Phase 4 work, which will primarily be at Union Pleasant Elementary, is set to begin next month. The auditorium on the Pleasant side of the building is expected to be worked on first, with construction going through the fall. Sean Fallon, project manager of Turner Construction, said the work will not interrupt normal school operations. The idea that we can get that work started in February is a value add beyond a value add, said Superintendent Thomas Adams. Other construction expected on the school building includes work on the corridors and stairways on the Pleasant side, updating bathrooms, improving fire and safety access for the doors on the Pleasant side, and roof work. Phase 4 will be a 2-year project. Feedmore, Western New York, once again hosting Peanut Butter Drive. Throughout the month of February, Feedmore, Western New York is calling on its community partners to spread the love by donating unopened jars of peanut butter to support neighbors experiencing food insecurity. Peanut butter is one of the most requested items by Feedmore's partner pantries, as well as a staple menu item of Feedmore backpack program serving children in need. That is why Feed More will once again run its Spread the Love Peanut Butter Drive throughout the entire month with the goal of collecting 5,000 pounds of peanut butter. Community members may drop off donations from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Monday through Friday and from 8 a.m. until noon on Saturdays at Feedmore's warehouse located at 91 Holt Street in Buffalo. Donations of peanut butter and food items may also be shipped directly to Feedmore through Instacart's Community Carts program. In addition to individual donations, Feedmore is calling on schools, corporations, and community groups to get involved in the effort. Anyone who is looking to organize a peanut butter drive for Feedmore is asked to contact Betsy Campbell, Community Engagement and Event Specialist for Feedmore at bcampbell, that's CAMPBELL, at feedmorewny.org, or call 716-822-2005, extension 3090. The reason we call attention to our need for peanut butter and hold the Spread the Love drive year after year is because peanut butter is an incredibly valuable food donation. It is packed with protein, shelf-stable, and widely enjoyed by community members of all ages, Campbell said. Feedmore welcomes donations of alternatives to peanut butter to those with food allergies or different preferences, including other nut butters, sunflower butter, and soy butter. We appreciate all varieties, creamy, crunchy, peanut butter and jelly combinations, and peanut-free spreads. All these donations add up to make a big difference to supporting our food-insecure neighbors across our 4 county service areas, Campbell said. For more information on the drive, visit feedmorewny.org/spread spread the love. Zonda Club of Hamburg and Orchard Park offering scholarships. The Zonda Club of Hamburg and Orchard Park is offering scholarships to local high school seniors pursuing further education. 2 $1,000 scholarships will be awarded to 2 high school girls living in the club's jurisdiction. Women returning to school, living or attending school in the Southtowns may apply for the adult $1,000 scholarship to pursue or complete their education. These scholarships can be used for traditional or vocational training programs. Applications for all awards are available at the local high schools and Southtown schools by email at hamburg@zantadistrict4.org or online at zantahamburgorchardpark.org under the Scholarship tab. The deadline for application is Wednesday, April 1st. Refer to the cover letters and scholarship applications for more information on eligibility requirements. Zanta International is also offering a scholarship. The Young Women in Leadership Scholarship, worth $5,000, recognizes young women for their leadership skills and commitment to public service and civic causes. Young women ages 16 to 19 who are residents of the Southtowns are eligible to apply through the club. Download the application at zantahamburgorchardpark.org under scholarships. The deadline for this award is Sunday, March 1st. Town of Boston Water Infrastructure Project set to move into Phase 2. This is by Chris Gordon. As the Town of Boston continues to work on improving its water infrastructure, Town Supervisor Jason Keating said they are preparing for Phase 2 of the project. According to Keating, this will be the most extensive of the phases. This will include replacement of water lines on Boston State Road, beginning at Chestnut Ridge Road. The bidding will begin on mid to late summer, Keating said during the January 21st Boston Town Board meeting. However, he did not give an indication yet as to when the work might begin. In another matter, Highway Superintendent Robert Telleck told the board his crews have been working hard on keeping the roads clear of snow. We definitely have been busy the last couple of weeks, Telleck said. The town has been hit hard during the recent storms, including one that occurred the week of January 19th. Councilmember Kathleen Selby commended the Highway Department for doing an awesome job and added that her drive to work in Hamburg was made easier by driving along plowed town roads. Councilmember Robert Penders echoed Selby's comments. I have not had any problems getting anywhere, Penders said. Councilmember Max Stefan encouraged residents not only to follow the town's Facebook page, but also to post pictures and videos if they see issues around the community. It helps us to know what is going on in town, Stefan said. Village of Blaisdell trustee floats idea of adding metal detectors to courtroom. This also is by Chris Gordon. As a way to increase safety for the Village of Blaisdell courtroom, trustee Patrick Castiglia is encouraging village officials to look at various options to help. There is a grant available in August for a metal detector, Castiglia said during the January 21st Blaisdell Village Board meeting. Castiglia noted that the grant is up to $20,000 to help pay for the metal detector. Castiglia suggested at a recent meeting that the village also look into getting wands for the court office, which is still being explored by village officials. He said as far as the metal detector goes, the only possible downside he sees is the potential of having to hire a second court officer. In another matter, officials thanked the village's Department of Public Works crew for keeping the roads clean and safe during the recent storm. Castiglia said his only suggestion would be to find ways to clean the corners to make it easier for the plows to turn. Overall, though, kudos and nothing but compliments from the citizens I spoke to, Castiglia said. Additionally, the board will hold a budget workshop at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 25th. Also in relation to the budget, a public hearing will take place at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th. The board will look to adopt the budget at 4:15 p.m. Wednesday, March 18th, prior to its regular meeting. The board will hold its next regular meeting at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 18th. Hamburg Board of Education district officials bid farewell to departing trustee. The board still contemplating on what to do about the open seat. This is by Chris Graham. Her impact on this district will be felt long after tonight. The programs improved, the decisions made, the example she set for leadership and fellow board members will continue to benefit our school and community for years to come. You'll be missed more than you know. Those were the words of David Yavine, a trustee on the Hamburg Board of Education, about Laura Heater, who is leaving the board after 12 years of service. Heater is stepping down from the board because of circumstances in her private life that have changed, according to board president Cameron Hall. It's tough to imagine this meeting without you, Hall said. The mother of 6 graduates from the district, Heater has worked as an educator at Randolph Academy and Global Concepts Charter School. She has served the board by being part of the Parent-Child Connection Strategic Action Plan Committee, Restorative Justice Outreach, Counseling Team, Erie County Association of School Boards, and the New York State School Board Presenter. Her time as a board member, she stressed putting needs of the students first and prioritizing mental health throughout the district. Serving on the school board is not always easy. Laura and I learned that in our very first year, said Yvonne, who has served on the board for the entirety of Heater's tenure. The work can be demanding, the decisions difficult, and the stakes, our children's futures, couldn't be higher. Through all that, she brought integrity, compassion, and a firm commitment to do what was right, even when it wasn't popular or easy. In her final meeting as a board member on January 13th, Hyder took the time to thank all the board members, administrators, school staff, students, Superintendent Thomas Adams, and former Superintendent Michael Cornell. I'm so beyond blessed to be here with all of you. I've had such wonderful experiences being part of a special board, Heater said. Hall described Heater as the heart of the board. You've reminded us that behind every budget line and policy change is a child and a family, Hall said. You've challenged us to be more empathetic and to be better leaders. Our district is stronger because of that. One of the moments where Heater showed herself to be the heart was when one of her colleagues was going through a difficult time in his life. In 2024, Yvine's son died from cancer. He said Heater was there to provide support and comfort. A loving woman that stood beside me when words were inadequate and strength felt impossible, Yvine said. In my darkness moments, she reminded me, by her actions and her love, that I was not alone, even when I felt completely lost. Also speaking to her heart, Cornell, now the interim president of Hilbert College, said Heater was always thinking about doing the next right thing for the district. How do we make sure that the children are all well? Cornell said about Heater's focus. With her departure from the board, there is now an open seat. Heater was reelected to the board last May, and her term runs through June of 2028. There are three options that the board can consider. The first would be to hold a special election to fill the remainder of Heater's term. The second would be to appoint someone to the seat up until the May election. And the third would be to leave the seat open and operate as a six-person board. For appointing or leaving the seat empty, Hall noted this would create a situation where a third would be open seat would be added to the ballot. Currently, there are two seats up for election. In May, he added that the third vote getter would get Heater's remaining term. No decision was made on what to do about the seat, as the board is expected to have a discussion about the potential options at its February meeting. Hamburg High School to hold second annual Threaded Together. Hamburg High School student government is set to host the second annual Threaded Together event. The event will be held from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st at the high school. This event launched last year, bringing together the community for an afternoon of shopping. Threaded Together is a free clothing store made up of donations collected through a drive across the school district. A couple of weeks before the event, student government asked people to bring in their gently used clothing and donate the pieces in collection bins in each homeroom. There are also bins placed in the other schools in the district. This year, students were collecting hygiene items including toothbrushes, toothpaste, body wash, feminine products, hand soap, and more. The drive also accepted mostly full perfumes and lotions. After their donation period was complete, the students set up the clothing store in the high school cafeteria. They stored all the clothing and hygiene items into categories and include adequate signage to make it easy for shoppers to find find what they're looking for. Then, on January 31st, anyone can bring and fill a bag with clothes and hygiene items. The student government provided free snacks from farms to table. Town of Boston water infrastructure project is set to move into phase 2. This is by Chris Gordon. As the town of Boston continues to work on improving its water infrastructure, Town Supervisor Jason Keating said they are preparing for phase 2 of the project. According to Keating, this will be the most extensive of the phases. This will include replacement of water lines on Boston State Road beginning at Chestnut Ridge Road. The bidding will be going on mid to late summer, Keating said, during the January 21st Boston Town Board meeting. However, he did not give an indication yet as to when the work might begin. In another matter, Highway Superintendent Robert Telek told the board his crews have been working hard to keep the roads clear of snow. St. Francis High School dedicates new fitness coach center to longtime football coach. St. Francis High School's newly completed fitness center has been dedicated to the school's longtime football coach, Jerry Smith. The 6,000 square foot facility, representing a $1.35 million investment in student health, wellness, and athletic excellence, is now known as the Coach Jerry Smith Fitness Center. Reverend Matthew J. Foley, president of the high school, said the completion of the fitness center marks the conclusion of Phase 1 of the school's capital improvements, part of the broader $20.5 million capital project. This fitness center is the result of countless hours of hard work and dedication, Foley said. We are excited for our young men to have a space that reflects the success of our athletic programs and supports their health and well-being for years to come. The campaign, which publicly launched at the end of October, has already raised $15.3 million toward the $20.5 million goal. A significant portion of the campaign, $13.5 million, is dedicated to growing the school's endowment to support tuition assistance and ensure long-term accessibility for future students. I am deeply grateful to the many donors who have supported this campaign, Foley said. Their generosity has already made a tremendous impact on the lives of our students. Gallivan hosts Crime Victims Roundtable at Hilbert College. Senator Patrick Gallivan and State Senator Dean Murray led an interagency Crime Victims Roundtable on January 23rd, focused on improving policy and legislation to better serve and protect crime victims across New York State. The event, held at Hilbert College, brought together lawmakers, representatives of law enforcement, victim advocates, service providers, and those directly impacted by crime. The roundtable is part of a series being held across the state, aimed at developing legislation to better protect and support all victims and ensure they receive the services they deserve. Participants included representatives of the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police, the Erie County Sheriff's Office, the Family Justice Center, the Seneca Nation of Indians, and crime victims. As a former state trooper and sheriff of Erie County, I understand the impact crime has on victims and their families, Gallivan said. Recent changes in our criminal justice laws favor offenders over law-abiding citizens and victims. It is important for us to hear directly from crime victims and those who advocate on their behalf, to make sure resources are in place to help them recover and to make New York safer for everyone. Hilbert College offers programs in criminal justice, crime scene investigation, forensic science, and human services. We thank Senators Patrick Gallivan and Dean Murray for bringing this Crime Victim Roundtable to Hilbert College, said Michael Cornell, interim president of the college. It reflects the core purpose of Hilbert's mission to educate professionals who lead with skill, compassion, and commitment to strengthen our communities. Former Hilbert College Vice President to lead Foundation of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Buffalo, Kathleen Moriarty Christie, former Vice President for Institutional Advancement at Hilbert College, has been appointed the new Executive Director of the Foundation of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Buffalo. She was the first Executive Director of the Bison Children's Scholarship Fund from 2001 until 2013. As Executive Director of the Catholic Foundation, Christie will also serve as Director of Development for the Diocese of Buffalo. Established in 1996, the mission of the Foundation of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Buffalo is to acquire, administer, and distribute donor funds to benefit the educational needs as well as various spiritual and social service programs provided by Catholic organizations, including Catholic charities and ministries throughout Western New York. The Executive Director and Board of the Foundation currently provide fiduciary oversight of $79.8 million in assets under management. In 2025, the Foundation made a total of $2.85 million in grant funding to a wide range of organizations and programs across the diocese during fiscal year 2025. We welcome with great enthusiasm and confidence in her ability to advance the mission of the Foundation of the Diocese at a critical time for our family of faith throughout Western New York, our community, and our nation, said Bishop Michael Fisher, who also serves as the chair of the board of the Foundation. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour has been Sally Herzog. Thank you so much for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Ampol Eagle. At 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. And following that, at 5 o'clock, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. Stay with us for these readings and more throughout the day. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have